Hi and welcome to Knit with Hannah. I'm Hannah. I have another jargon video for you today. This week it is p2tog TBL or purl two together through back loop. Hi and welcome to Knit with Hannah. I'm Hannah. I'm here with Knitting Natter to help you learn to knit the easy way. p2tog TBL is great fun. It's kind of confusing, but it is pretty much the only method we have of creating mirrored decreasing. If you're decreasing on the purl side, this is particularly useful if you need to decrease on all of the rows. So if you're knitting stocking stitch, you need to decrease on the knit row and the purl row. Purl two together through back of loop is particularly helpful for this. You're more likely to see that kind of shaping if you are knitting the sleeves or the neck of a jumper, but you can see it in either other items as well, especially if you're knitting toys or Christmas decorations, something like that. It's really helpful to have this in your knitting kit and your tool belt up here so you know what you're doing. It's really useful to have all of these jargon videos in one place. I have a free download for you at the end of the tutorial. I'll tell you more about that later, but first of all, let's get straight to it. Let's do purl two together through back loop. With purl two together through back loop, we are obviously on the purl side of the knitting, so you've got the lumps facing you, and what it is creating is a mirror of sorts of purl two together. Purl two together goes through first stitch and the second stitch in that's stitching on the needle. So purl two together looks like that. We put the right hand needle through those two stitches. So what we're going to do is approach the second stitch before the first stitch so that it looks different when it's sitting on the knitting. Okay, so what we're going to do is keep the yarn sitting at the front because that's where we are when we're purling. And then we're going to move this right hand needle all the way around to the back, and we're going to take that needle into the right hand stitch and then the left hand stitch. So we're going into both of those stitches, but we're approaching them from the back. And then we purl that. So those two stitches sit on the needle at once. Let me show you that again. Okay, so the right hand needle goes into these two stitches from the back, and you'll be able to do this without twisting the knitting around. Oh dear, I can't. See, I can better do it when I'm facing the front. So I can just pull this bit of fabric down here. What we've knitted already can sit there. So we're going into the second stitch first, and then that first stitch. So we're looking at that one, then that one. All right, so now you've got two loops sitting here waiting to be knitted. We knit them at once and we pull that loop through. So that's a decrease with purl two together through back loop. What I would like to just show you is the purl two together, and then you'll see how it mirrors the purl two together through back loop, because here you can see that these stitches slant to the right and these stitches are slanting to the left, but these stitches are slanting to the left and twisting as they do it. So here's a hack. If you're willing, you just do one simple step before you do purl two together through back loop, and it will show you exactly the same thing as purl two together. The stitches won't be twisted. So let's do that now. What you have to do is actually slip the stitches so that they are sitting the other way, okay? So that they're going to put them both on the right hand needle, and then I'm going to switch them round. So usually the loop at the right of the stitch is sitting at the front of the needle, but I'm going to put it so it's at the back. It's not twisted, but the left hand loop is at the front of the needle instead. And that is what I'm doing here. Now we can do exactly what we did before. So we can go into those two stitches. It actually feels a lot easier. So we go into the second stitch and then the first stitch, and we knit that loop, or purl that loop, because the yarn is at the front. And then what you'll see is I'll tell you what, I'll just purl to the end of the row. Hi there, this is Editing Hannah coming in. I'm just going to rewind that and let you see that decrease again with the stitches just being moved so that you can watch it twice and you won't have to keep rewinding for yourself. Okay, what you have to do is actually slip the stitches so that they are sitting the other way, okay? So that they're going to be, I'm going to put them both on the right hand needle and then I'm going to switch them round. So usually the loop at the right of the stitch is sitting at the front of the needle, but I'm going to put it so it's at the back. So it's not twisted, but the left hand loop is at the front of the needle instead. And that is what I'm doing here. Now we can do exactly what we did before. So we can go into those two stitches. It actually feels a lot easier. So we go into the second stitch and then the first stitch and we knit that loop, or purl that loop, because the yarn is at the front. And then what you'll see is I'll tell you what, I'll just purl to the end of the row. That we have here two decreases right next to each other. We have the purl two together and then the stitches that I turned over are sitting right next to them and they are decreased. So we have very beautiful mirrored decrease there sitting right next to each other, whereas the original purl two together through back loop, the stitches are twisted so it looks and feels tighter. Okay, so that's an option for you. If you'd like to take that single extra step when you come across a p2tog TBL, then I would definitely take it because it looks better, it feels better, and then if you are decreasing on every row, which is usually why you'd want to do a p2tog TBL in the first place, it means that you're mirroring what you're doing on the other side. The purl side decrease will look exactly the same as the knit side decrease, which would be knit two together and SSK. Well, I hope that hack was easy for you. It just means that those stitches don't get twisted and it makes it look so much better. Like I said, especially if you are decreasing on every single row, then it will look very similar to the knitting decreasing. You want the purl decreasing to look the same, and it will mean that your knitting really does look very intentional and professional as well. So all of the jargon videos are in one place. That is, if you go and get this free download, it will just very simply a PDF. It will give you links to all of the jargon videos, both on my blog and on YouTube. I've lost count of how many jargon demos there are on that, but it will make it a lot easier for you. If it's right by your side when you're knitting, then you just have to click on the right link for whichever abbreviation you're getting stuck with, and it will send you over here. I will send you an update for that in a couple of weeks with all of the jargon demos from the last few months. Do subscribe if you're not subscribed already and click on the little bell. That will mean that YouTube will notify you when a new video appears. I'm here every Tuesday, every week with a new video for Knit with Hannah. I will see you next Tuesday. Bye for now. Happy knitting.